House bill that could lead to banning TikTok in the United States. In Washington, D.C., the House on Wednesday passed legislation that could ban TikTok in the United States if its Beijing-based parent company, ByteDance, doesn't sell its stake in the massively popular social media platform. The vote was 352 in favor and 65 opposed. If you know anything about the House of Representatives, that is a rare lopsided vote in this evenly divided House, underscoring its broad bipartisan support with 197 Republicans, 155 Democrats voting to approve it. 15 Republicans and 50 Democrats voted against the bill. One Democrat voted present. The House fast-tracked the legislation known as the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, terribly named, by bringing it up under a procedure that required the support of 2/3 of members for its passage. It's Caitlin Yellick from CBS News reporting. The bill now goes to the Democratic-controlled Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York, who was non-committal about bringing it up for a vote, saying in a one-line statement that the Senate, quote, will review the legislation when it comes over from the House. President Biden has vowed to sign the bill, which would require ByteDance to sell TikTok within 6 months or be banned from the United States app stores and web hosting services. TikTok has repeatedly been targeted by lawmakers seeking to restrict the app over concern that the Chinese government could force ByteDance to hand over the data of its 170 million American users. Lawmakers say the concern is warranted because Chinese national security laws require organizations to cooperate with intelligence gathering. TikTok has long denied it could be used by the Chinese government to spy on Americans. In a statement after the House vote, a spokesperson for the company said the process was secret and the bill was jammed through for one reason: it's a ban. The spokesperson said TikTok is hopeful that the Senate will consider the facts, listen to their constituents, and realize the impact on the economy. 7 million small businesses and the 170 million Americans who use our service. But it's unclear whether the bill's passage in the House marks the beginning of the end for TikTok in the U.S. Previous efforts to ban it nationwide have stalled amid disagreements about how to regulate the platform, free speech concerns, and of course, legal challenges. In recent days, TikTok wielded its massive user base against lawmakers, prompting worried constituents to call congressional offices to register their opposition to the bill. A recent Pew Research Center survey found declining support among U.S. adults for a TikTok ban, even among those who were aware of ByteDance's connection to China. Senator Nina Turner here posted this in response to the bill. Of course, state senator. The TikTok bill has a lot of issues, but politically speaking, what do Democrats think will happen to the youth vote in November if TikTok is banned while Biden is president? Do they realize how it'll play at the polls? People will tangibly feel it. Huge mistake. So, Jackson, I'm going to go to you in a second. One of the motivations here and one of the sort of China issues that we're going to be seeing a lot of in the 2024 election is that the Russians feel as if the Biden administration and Biden himself is in bed with China. So the optics of pushing back at China also has an upside for the president and for this administration. But what Senator Turner said there also rings true in terms of, if Joe Biden is the person who signed the bill to ban TikTok in the United States, how is that going to impact small businesses and the youth vote? Sorry.
Jay, something with a J.
No, it's like, we have a Jordan with us.
Yes,
too.
Something with a J.
You understand, Justin?
Yeah. To me, this is posturing because here's the reality. It's like, it's a threat. It's intimidation. Because the United States has this habit and, empires all throughout civilization have done this. Whoever's like the big competitor, there's like this need to create an enemy out of everything. It's always a red scare for us. Our security is such a threat. Now, is national security an issue? Is it a real thing? Absolutely. But let's be serious. China does not need TikTok to spy on the United States. It just, there's many other avenues to do it. So it's not as if this is like some nuclear bomb that's just here giving all this information. I mean, how much information do we give away every day and we don't really care? And I'm not saying that from a personal individual level, but just to say, like, there's so many other ways that China can spy on us and get information. Like everyone's spying on everybody.
Right.
If China wasn't right here with us economically, we wouldn't care. So, it's just like a petty ping pong match because, as you pointed out, are we really going to get rid of all this in the economy at this point? I don't think so. I mean, anything's possible. But as Nina pointed out, it would just be a really bad political move, and I think that someone there has to know that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you're right, Jackson. The way I also see it is that, you know, it becomes a First Amendment thing too, and I think Americans get very upset when people start trampling all over the First Amendment. I do see the impetus, but I think that even if it's posturing, it could be good posturing. It could
yeah,
get the company to do what they want to do.
yeah.
But I think that you know, in an election year, you have to be I would say skeptical, even benignly skeptical of everything you hear and why it is that way. But I find it interesting too that this vote was so lopsided in the House because of the fact that it does mean that both sides see the political advantages of doing this. Maybe Republicans want to see Joe Biden do it for just the reasons that Nina Turner talked about, but maybe they also are you know, there are people there who want to at least tamp down on China's infiltration. But again, you know, like you just said, Jackson, you see so many ways for China to come in here. Yeah, 170 million people in one fell swoop's pretty good. It beats a balloon coming into the Dakotas, right?
Yeah.
But by the same token, there are lots of ways that this can happen. So I totally appreciate that point.